Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Watchdives WD50FK. You can also pick this up in the model number WD50FS. The only difference there is you got a sapphire crystal and a matte bezel insert, so keep that in mind. I received this watch for free. I don't have to send the watch back, but you guys know the deal by now. It's not going to sway my review one way or another, and if by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, I'll be leaving a link down in the video description. That is an affiliate link. If you guys use the link, you aren't paying any extra. You're just going to get a little bit of commission earned for this channel, which helps keep it running, so I really do appreciate the continued support. The full retail price for this watch is $89 US. That's with mineral, and then $109 with the sapphire crystal. The watch comes in 4 different setups that you can see here, with a few different strap options as well. Keep in mind that sapphire, and it has a dial and a bezel that's kind of set up just like this one. So this particular version is a 316L stainless steel case. It has a mineral crystal, a screw down crown, a screw down case back, 300 meters of claimed water resistance, and then the watch is powered by the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. So there's a few different brands out there that are doing a homage of the 50 Fathoms. This I think is the best one, and that's for one major reason. And we'll get right into that here in just a little bit. So yeah, I say we get right into the full review. But before we do, doing a quick wrist check today, wearing the San Martin SN0141 on a cut to size FKM strap. Absolutely, this has been my most worn watch this summer, I think. Yeah, really just an awesome combo. All right, so let's get into the dimensions. Got a diameter of 39.9 millimeters, case thickness of 14 millimeters, 19 millimeter lug width, a lug tip to lug tip of 48.1 millimeters, and on the supplied elastic strap, it weighs 83 grams. So the dimensions on this are pretty typical for this style of watch. There are some that are 42, I believe. The lug to lug is the big thing though. This one is 48 millimeter lug to lug. The other ones are like 50 or even larger than that, so they wear very long. This one is nice and compact. I think it works well. 14 millimeters thick, which a lot of that is that mineral crystal there sticking up above the bezel. But it is a pretty chunky watch case, but they did a pretty nice job with that mid case, keeping it nice and slim with some nice turn down to the lugs there. So on this elastic strap, it is super comfortable. So I like the way that it wears, so I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and as you can see, it wears great. Just love the more compact lug to lug, got decent turn down like I mentioned there. A little bit of a thick case, but that's just kind of how these homages are done. The original is pretty thick as well. You can see here underneath the oak tree, plenty legible. The mineral crystal really keeps reflections down. They did a good job with it in my opinion. But yeah, I think it just looks awesome. The white hands really pop against the black, so no trouble reading this watch. It actually looks worse on camera than it does in person. So yeah, a little bit shiny on the bezel insert there. I wish they would have gone with a mineral bezel insert. I think it would have looked a little bit nicer, a little more vintagey, but it doesn't look bad here at all. And popping out in some direct sunlight there, you can see no issues at all reading this thing. It actually looks better out here. But yeah, really good, very matte case with some shiny accents to it. I just think it overall looks really nice. All right, let's go throw it on a couple straps and we'll get back to this review. And here we are on a single pass raft strap. This is from CNS Watch Bands. This is yellow mustardy color, kind of goes well with the dial indices and the hands and all that stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. This is a 20 millimeter, by the way. It's squeezed in there, but I still think it looks pretty good. And here we are on a 19 millimeter ribbed nylon strap. There's 2 layers underneath. This is again from CNS Watch Bands. I completely forgot that I had this one on here. I think it actually looks pretty good. What do you guys think of that? All right, that's the end of the strap show. I've got no other ones, so let's go back inside and get back to this review. So the case finishing on this watch is very simple. It is 100% bead blasted, or I think they call it titanium blasted or something like that. But what that means is that it's just a matte case. There's no shiny surface on it. There's no brushing on it anywhere. Really nicely done though. Everything has been rounded off very nicely. You do have drilled lugs there, which is a huge bonus for me. But yeah, just a really nice smooth matte finish everywhere that you're looking. Even the case back here is just a simple sterile case back. I'll show you that real quick. Simple notches to get a tool into. There's really, I mean, just no sharp edges on this thing at all that I've been able to find. Usually, these inside corners of the lugs, those are sharp, and it's just not sharp here. So they did a very nice job on the case. I think it's really well executed. Here you can see a nice screw down crown there with the Watchdives logo sign there. Plenty of grip, and I think it looks really good with it, and it matches the case just perfectly. So really the case finishing on this watch is simple but well executed. So getting to the bezel, we have a ceramic bezel insert. It depends on which model you get, but you can get this in a matte ceramic. I kind of wish they would have done a mineral or a sapphire bezel. I think that would look a little bit nicer, but this one actually does look pretty good. You can see here, nice and clean and crisp. Everything is done just really good. It's nice, minimal. The printing on the outside there, that is lumed, so it is a fully lumed ceramic bezel insert. The alignment on it, pretty good. It's really hard to see, but you can see it's just a little bit off to the left, just a hair, but it's not enough that it's bothered me at all. But I do really like it. The bezel itself is stainless steel and matches the case perfectly, that bead blasted finish. This little top edge here has your nice little coin edge grip there. Plenty of grip on this thing. I think the resistance is pretty good, maybe a little bit light, but not too bad. I don't think I've ever really knocked it out of place on accident, so I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said, the grip is really good. I'll let you listen to it. It is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. Pretty high pitched clicks, as you can see there, or hear there. It doesn't sound super quality, but it does feel really good. It's nice even resistance all the way around. The clicks, they sound the same all the way around. There's no real play in the bezel at all. I'm pushing it up and down. I don't see it. Trying to rotate it. It's locked into place, and there's no play at all. So the bezel itself, I think, is really good. It just doesn't sound like a super quality bezel, but take the sound out of it and it's a really good bezel. And again, the alignment is actually pretty much spot on there. And sitting inside that bezel there, you have a beautiful mineral crystal there. It is a very high dome, as you can see there. Plenty, just tons of distortion on the edges. Hides the dial a little bit, but it's a beautiful crystal. Really happy with it. Clear and a reflective coating as well. There's no blue hue to it or anything like that. Mineral crystal is less reflective than sapphire, so this one, I had no doubts, was going to be a really nice crystal, and it is. Really clear at the strong angles there, as you can see. But yeah, just a great crystal on this thing. If you're okay with the mineral, I know some people are, some people aren't. I'm okay with it, but yeah, it's a beautiful crystal. So getting up real close to the dial here, you can see it's a fully printed dial. Really nicely done though. You have a white printed minute track all around the outside with little 5-minute increments labeled there. You have tiny triangles at 12, 3, 6, and 9, and then inset from that are your 12, 3, 6, and 9 numerals. Again, everything is done very nice. The faux patina on this thing, it's actually done, I don't think it's overcooked or anything like that. Sometimes you can get them super yellow. This, I think, actually looks pretty darn good. You got your Watchdives logo there, again printed, and then automatic 300 meters. This case is rated for 300 meters. And then you have your simple kind of fence post hour and minute hands there in white, just popping against that matte black dial. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Good length on the hands. They're nice and bold. They never get lost. It's a super easy watch to read. Just really nicely done. Even under macro, you can see just how nice and clean these hands are done. It's a really nice setup. The lume color between the hands and the dial, I actually think is actually a pretty good match. It's not something that's bothered me. So yeah, I'm very happy to say that the lume color match is actually really close. The lume on the watch, on the other hand, is just okay. It's got a very nice bright glow right off the bat, and you can see it against a couple other watches here in the collection. And it does all right. It definitely isn't as strong as some of the other watches, but I think for the price it's acceptable, and it's about what I expected for a watch like this with a printed faux patina dial. It's usually not done very well, but this one is actually pretty decent. All right, so let's talk about the movement inside. So the movement is the Seiko NH35 automatic movement. If you're unaware, it is a hacking and hand winding 26,600 beats per hour movement, roughly 40 hours of power reserve. It has a bidirectional winding rotor, so you don't get any rotor whirling or anything like that. They are cheap, they are reliable, they are accurate enough. Here's how this one has been running, plus 7 seconds a day, which for a watch like this is perfect. I've got zero complaints with that. These movements, they're great. I've got really no issues with them. Under $300, I've got no issues with these movements. It's got a screw down crown here, nice smooth screw in, screw out action, decent pop out there. Your first position is your hand winding. Second position is a ghost date position, so there is a ghost date wheel behind the dial there. I can feel it clicking around. Not a big deal to me. Some people hate that. Pull it out to the third position. It hacks the movement every single time. This is where you set your time. Everything here is just as you would expect. The crown is nice and solid. Push it in, it starts up the movement every single time. And then the screw in action, again, really nice and smooth. I got really no complaints with the movement on this one. It's a good one. All right, so let's talk about the strap on this one. So this is a strap that they actually added later on. I believe they originally shipped this with a 20 millimeter, but this one is an actual 19 millimeter elastic strap, that kind of army green with the yellow stripe down the middle. It's just awesome. Really nice combination, very military-esque, obviously. The hardware on it, it's not just off the shelf. It is a bead blasted hardware, which is nice to see. So they actually went out and sourced a really nice strap. It's super duper comfortable. I've had quite a few of these elastic straps, and they're pretty much all the same, but you can get some that are a little bit more stiff than other ones. This one is just about right in my opinion. So really happy with the strap on this thing. I've got really no complaints with it. So there you go, guys. That is the Watchdives WD50FK. Like I mentioned, you can get this with a sapphire crystal as well for about $20 more. The big competition to this is, I believe, a Thorn. Is there a Radune? I'm not really sure. And then the Steel Dive. But I think this is the best one. It's the shortest. It's perfect size. They're all about the same thickness, and they all have mineral crystals anyway, and they're all bead blasted. So yeah, the fact that this has the shorter lug, it's got a nice strap with it, good Lume, nice brand as well, and the movement has been accurate for me. So there's really not a whole lot to complain about, especially at this price point. And I heard from the Watchdives boss that these watches are selling really, really good. So you might have to act quick. I'm not really sure how the stock is. I know the sapphire, I think, is already sold out. So it's just the mineral ones for right now. I think they're going to restock the sapphires in a little bit, but I'm not really positive on that. So yeah, you might want to act quick on this one. I think it's going to sell pretty well and continue selling well for them. So I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.